All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Revolutionary Girl Utena, episode 30. We're on the last set of 10 episodes.
Oh yeah, we are.
Holy shit.
That's true. That's
Yep.
true. Yeah.
Oh boy. But now we got that whole situation resolved for the most part with Shuri.
I mean, yeah, it's just nobody ended up happy.
No.
That thing
No.
there. It's just
Yeah.
Just unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. But now, new set of characters maybe to focus on. Maybe we'll get some anti-focus. I always love anti-focus, you know? No? I don't know.
I think that we basically went through the council already at this point. So
yeah, we got Nanami, we got Juri, we got...
What do you do from here on? Do you actually then start exploring the Auntie Akio fucked up situation? Yeah. I think we've basically gone... mechanically through
like all the important
unless
other
it's
things.
Again one of those like, oh, at this point it should be this, and it's like, no, it's like it's a Nanami focused episode again.
That's true.
Because every time this fucking anime says, we've gone through everybody,
super serious.
And no, not just super something super serious. It's the it seems like a good transition point, right? It's like, yeah, it does. So we do Nanami then. Right. Yes, that's exactly what
Nanami is the great transition bridge. It's just all right. Yeah.
Right. It's the transition from being a Revolutionary Girl Utena, with Nanami.
A bunch of fans just no. How I know he was joking, but how could he say something like that?
No, but that's the thing is that on some level, Utena as a story, you don't really click into what it's meant to be until you accept what Nanami is trying to communicate.
Nanami
to you.
is it's the coffee beans when you're trying out the colognes, to clear the senses.
It primes you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Wakaba episode.
Wakaba.
Better.
Wakaba.
そういう嘘は直感的にわかるのよ。かえって信用なくすパターンね。
Oh wait, no, this isn't on the episode.
Or it's just an Utena episode.
Sure.
I mean, she is the main character. There's a whole bunch of things this could be going towards.
Yeah.
Or let's just ensemble the main three,
すごいや。秋代さんって
Oh, fuck. Fuck, it is an Utena episode. Damn
Oh
it.
shit.
だってケーキ焼ける男の人なんて珍しいですよ。
And
No,
decorated.
don't say that Akio has the cake.
このケーキ秋代さんが作ったんですか？
Right, because she has a crush on Akio. Right.
秋代さんって何でもできるんですね。だってケーキの焼ける男の
Oh
人
my
なんて
god.
珍しいですよ。
Is there an echo here?
さっき言った。なんか水差すじゃん。
I'm ruining this.
秋代さんにはもうフィアンセがいるんだってば。あら、好きって気持ちはそんなの関係ないわよ。あ、そう。あんまり固いことばかり言ってると。
Oh.
恋もできませんわよ。
Whoa.
もっと女の子
Whoa, that was a cool transition.
です。
Whoa.
男子の制服なんて着ていても。
Yeah.
かっこよくありませんよ。
We're thrown into the past.
でも結構みんなに評判いいんだけどなこのスタイル。
Did she actually say that though?
これは
Oh.
秋代さん。秋代さん。
Or wait.
Okay, no, this is present,
This
I
is
guess.
present then, yeah.
今夜の中等部教員の懇親会には僕も参加させてもらいます。
You're an adult? Why would you want to do
The
that?
staff social.
ああ、それで理事長。
Oh, did it say staff social? Oh.
素敵。理事長、ルックスもファッションも。
まあ、それとあまり規則を盾に生徒たちを縛りすぎないように。
With your rules.
あくまでも生徒の自主性を。
Wow, and he's still talking as walking away, not looking at them.
Yeah.
バカだな。
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that. He couldn't resist his own
凛
arrogance.
々しいスタイルのファンだからね。
I mean, the thing is, that's the kind of thing that would be like a cool thing to do if it wasn't Akio.
Uh-huh.
自分の信念を曲げない君には何か強さと気高さを感じたよ。
Oh, and suddenly they're here.
構わないさ。だって君は妹のいや僕の大切な友人だからね。
And doing this specifically in front of the...
Yeah.
バカ、何考えてるんだ。秋代さんには。
Oh shit. Is he trying to seduce her? Like...
この車って最近よく見かけますけど。
今年人気のモデルだからね。
Oh.
気にはない？
いや、そういうんじゃない。
Oh.
Did he tries to do the car thing and it
Wakaba!
just is immune?
Wakaba!
なんだ、こっそりツーショットなんてお安くないぞ。これからデート。そんなわけないだろ。たまたま一緒になっただけさ。だったら一緒にデートに行きませんか？おいおい、今日ここでこうしてやったのもきっと何かの縁ですし。
I don't want either of you.
I do like the idea, though, that she's the one asking to be in the car as opposed to the usual, like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
2時間くらいでよければお付き合いします。
2
Oh.
hours?
2 hours.
ダメダメ。なんでさ。だってデートは二人っきりでするもんです。ね、秋代さん。あ、そう。いってらっしゃい。じゃあね。
Now, is that something that's good because Utena then isn't in the car, or is it something that's bad because Wakaba doesn't have her herbo with her to
It's
wax on, wax off Akio?
Yeah, because Utena's got the slightly oblivious protagonist kind of thing.
Like, I fully believe that was Akio doing his usual thing, and it just didn't even work.
ただのドライブじゃない。考えすぎよ。そうかな。さては焼いてる。
Yeah, of course she has to keep going at it. If it was just a drive, why would she be jealous, Wakaba?
お
Yeah.
はようございます。
Which bitch am I killing? Yeah, that coldness. There's that little bit of,
そんなわけない。
Oh, but then also feeling bad. Wait,
yeah.
そんなわけないさ。
maybe this is the way that Utena finds out what her feelings for Anthi actually are.
僕が好きなのは王子
No,
様。
see.
Oh.
No, she was saying, I'm not jealous by saying it's not
こ
true.
の指輪をくれた王子様だけなのに。なんで
Because she
僕は
does get kind of flushed a bit when
Anthi's just
Akio-
like, am I a joke to you?
僕は君に。秋代さん。お兄様、ウテナ様が。
どうしたんだい？
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, let's follow this up.
さあ乗ってちゃんと病院で見てもらった方がいい。
すみません。
Yeah, he makes sure Anthi doesn't get in the car. Yeah.
姫宮も乗ってけばいいじゃん。
Yeah.
ダメ。デートは二人きりでするもんです。そう君の友人に教えてもらいましたが、違いますか？じゃあな、アンシー。
はい、お兄様。バッハハイ。
Oh shit. Oh
秋
shit.
代さん。本当すいませんでした。病院にまで付き添ってもらっちゃって。
遠慮しないで。僕たちはもう家族同然じゃないか。さあ着いたよ。
ありがとうござ
That
いま
was a
す。
pretty deft deflection for Utena.
いたの。
大丈夫です。
The doctors can do that.
Yeah.
今日は歩かない方がいいってドクター。
Oh, okay.
That was
After
just
the appointment.
That was just
そんな
over.
大
Yeah.
丈夫、歩けますよ。
No! Stranger danger!
しない方がいい。おぶっていくよ。
秋代さんってプレイボーイでしょ。
なぜ？
だって女の子喜ばせるの得意そうだもん。
そう？
なんか理事長らしくないっていうか。
They keep showing more phallic imagery. I'm gonna.
君だって言いつけを守らずに男の子の制服を着てるじゃないか。
I literally didn't even realize that until you mention it.
同類かもな。
Back.
No.
の場合
Back.
王子様だからこれは僕が昔好きだった王子様に会いたくてそれで
おぶっていくよ。抱いていった方がいい。
But only one.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah,
we need- yeah.
y'all get it coming.
Yeah.
Here.
Holy
Make some
shit.
sense of this shit.
若葉のやつがさ、はい。この前若葉のやつが恋に行けない恋はない。好きって気持ちはどうしようもないって言ってたけど、好きになっちゃいけない人ってやっぱいるよね。私にはよくわかりません。でも
Still.
私も若葉さんの言うように好きっていう気持ちは自分でもどうしようもない部分があると思いますけど。
Oh, yeah, go into that.
そういえば君にも誰か好きな人がいるんだっけ？
Yeah.
Yeah.
いますよ。私にも王子様が。
I don't want to transition from that to
天井ウテナですか？このガラスの靴の持ち主は。
nice.
そういえば君は彼女に惚れてるんだったな。
決闘に敗れた時はショックでしたね。いや、敗れたことがじゃなくて、俺の信念を揺るがす少女のいることがですけど、あの時ばかりはこれまでの生き方を考えさせられましたよ。
See, that's what you need to do, Nanami.
君は見る目があるよ。あれはいいよ。
This is just them jacking off together.
理事長。
I don't like this music in this
With
context.
yeah, uh-huh.
I don't like it.
No.
Really, just ugh.
昨日もあまり食べてなかったみたいだけど、具合でも悪いんですか？
いや、その
Yeah, she's not happy about what
どうした
happened.
のって言
Yeah.
ったもの。
Yeah. Of course not.
かなえさん。
Perfect.
Hey!
こんな時間でないと捕まらないでしょ。おはようございます、かなえさん。おはよう、アンシーちゃん。まったく、いつになったらお姉さんって呼んでくれるのあら、お久しぶりね、アキオさん。
お母さん、珍しいですね。
Whoa.
Mother's
Oh,
vision, maybe?
yeah.
あなたにお話があるの。
From back before, I guess.
どんなご用件ですか？つつがなく仕事はこなしているつもりですが。
Yep.
ほら、これがかなえさんの好きな香りです。僕はいつも彼女が望む香水をつけ、そして二人きりの時には。
This fucking guy.
理事長のおかげは。
Literally.
いかがですか？
あんな男のことはどうでもいいわ。
Okay.
3 in a 1 episode?
Holy shit.
ねえねえ、ウテナ。
Oh my god.
秋代さんの婚約者、大鳥かなえさん。素敵な人よね。美人で頭良さそうで、おまけにお母様で。確かにそりゃちょっとかなわない。
I mean, she's a grown ass woman, but like, bro's been like.
違う。僕が好きなのは王子様だぞ。
And. Oof.
Shit.
Wow.
That-
Oh, this episode.
That,
I don't know what to say. Well, that
Prepare for
episode-
essay and make it triple. No,
Yeah, well, the
Double.
mom is a
that's a
fully
that's
grown
a
woman.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Oh boy, but it was
Yeah.
like that was there just in case we were like, what was it? Just a stealing first kiss, which is still bad, but like no, to confirm exactly what they mean when the shoe's taken off and
Yeah.
all that. So
And the stroking of the car and everything, and the 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it was something that made sense. It was something that made sense a while ago, but it was the kind of thing where it also seemed like it was approached slightly differently when he would take people into the car, depending on whether it was Toga or
someone else that was there or whatever.
Yeah, because sometimes there'd be 3 people in the car. Sometimes there was like 4 people in the car at some point,
maybe.
So it's more the thing of whether he's kind of facilitating this kind of symbolic kind of stuff going on there. But for many of them, especially this episode,
there was one that was more overt, but this is like
also
very overt. So okay.
Akio is an adult. They are not only the fact that Akio is an adult, fuck that, they're middle schoolers. Mm-hmm. So this is
all kinds of fucked up.
This is criminal. This is absolutely awful. So
it's
poor Utena because Utena has the conflict of being the one that seeks after the ideal of her prince in her mind that is not one that she fully has like an actual true memory of. It's kind of a combination of a feeling and an impactful kind of vision, if you will.
Well, yeah, the prince from back then is an ideal now more than it is an actual person.
Right.
And so because it's
so now it's the Utena, little do you know about your prince. Oh boy. And even then, the fact that Akio, I'm sure he knows kind of, but it's the, does his control over this whole school and situation here and the way he's scheming, leading him to kind of just getting fucked up, pleasure out of going through all this, because this doesn't seem to service his goals in the immediate sense. This seems like it's just something where he's like, yeah, fuck it, I can have Wakaba, I can have Utena, I can do whatever I want.
Have my fiance's mom,
yeah, exactly.
I think there's definitely a part of that. I think the power aspect of it is a big deal for Akio. Hence why like he makes a point of Anthy being aware and being like, and being like, no, you aren't gonna come with us, right? Because Anthy is very much aware of the situation.
She's been aware because he's been doing it to her.
Yeah, exactly. She's victim numero uno. So, and yet she probably feels powerless to stop it, right?
Right, and that's again, it brings up the whole question that we've had since like way early on in the show. How much agency does Anthy really have? Because I think what we can know is that Anthy really enjoys being with Utena for as long as she can.
Yeah.
I think there's a very clear...
And she is in love with Utena.
Well, yeah. There's very clearly... And it's probably a bit complicated, but like there's a very clear abuse victim angle where you can see that Anthy, especially early on in the show, really, really liked the way in which she could kind of get away just to be with Utena, especially given in context that we ended up finding out that she was being summoned many times at night back. And those were moments where she couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And we know now what that meant, but also we still have many points in the past where we see Anthy do things that are not helping Akio. They're if anything, maybe trying to prep Utena a little bit to be ready for a revolution, for setting things up. And Anthy is very much actively taking a part, not just in the Rose Bride kind of stuff here to then give Utena the means to use the power of Dios to win all the duels and stuff.
Right.
That aspect is actively kind of fucking with Akio a little bit. I mean, so it's it's the question of, in this instance here, Anthy is seen doing the least active involvement directly stuff, but the most it's invert proportion where she's watching everything, and yet she's acting in none of it. So it feels very unnerving thinking about what her role is.
And with regards to Anthi and what she does and what she doesn't do, there is also the possibility that she, in the same way that Utena doesn't like, is a bit lost with how to like think about things, you know, because she doesn't.
She's an idiot.
She's an idiot, and she doesn't know what she's dealing with. So you know, she's blaming herself basically for what happened because she feels like it's a betrayal of her prince, right?
Yep. And a betrayal probably of Anthi and probably also of Kanai, just even though it has nothing to do with
that too.
Whether she has actually any relationship with Kanai, but the connection of society and what's the right or wrong thing to do.
Yeah. And with regards to Anthi, one of the things that they've had established in the show up until now that was touched on only really once when Kanai was introduced, but then it got brought up again pretty strongly here.
Yeah.
Is that Anthi very much gives Kanai the cold shoulder. And there's a couple reasons that I could see for that.
Yeah.
One is that because of her, Akio is in a position of power. Right? And
she's trying to sabotage.
She's trying to sabotage Akio
ruining their relationship.
Through ruining their relationship. That would make a lot of sense. And then the other one is that because I'm guessing the abuse from Akio has been happening for a very long time, there might be a part of her that also doesn't fully understand it, and that could be a reason where it doesn't have to necessarily be that she doesn't think she can do anything, but her own internal state hasn't figured out and resolved 100% of what is the best thing for her to do. And so there could be an angle of it where it's the jealousy angle of Akio's mind.
It's very possible.
Right?
Yeah, it's a very fucked up situation where we're basically dealing in the ways in which a sexual abuser is taking dominion and control over all these people and is kind of flaunting that power and control at the moments when he has it, and then in turn we are setting up these ladies, the two here, Wakaba and Utena, and in some ways Anthi as well, to be responding to their feeling of powerlessness. Now, Wakaba has the memory of the this is what I always wanted, and so this is wonderful. She doesn't even see it as problematic at all.
Yeah.
And then you have
and I'm sure that, from Wakaba's perspective, because she was like, well, the fiance is a bit inconvenient and all that stuff, but that would be wonderful, somehow. And then he's like, oh yes, we can have our little thing on the side, but just make sure you don't tell anybody because right.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that Utena felt differently, even though she did have some attraction to Akio, she felt sick and didn't eat. And I like that the anime made it very clear over and over again. Not only is Utena uncomfortable with the fact that it happened, but she's uncomfortable processing the fact that it happened. There's there's an element of when you have pain or something that is a persistent form of pain,
Okay.
You can sometimes try to isolate it and remove it from your mind's eye, your present thought.
Deal with it later or whatever.
Deal with it later, push it down the line, and it's something where you can go, okay, well, hey, out of sight, out of mind, I don't have to think or worry about it. But then there's other times where it's no, my subconscious is working against me, and I feel something, even though I might be able to do that. I can't help but have a negative experience in some other area where it kind of leaks out. And I always describe it like that in my mind, is basically that someone is basically taking a jar that's cracked and they're trying to put their fingers over all the cracks. And because the pressure is still there, a new crack is going to form.
Sure.
And while you might not be dealing with the emotions of it in the moment, you're going to feel a physical response to it.
Duct tape only works for so long. And there's something about that made me think about another aspect of this show. So the sort of like supernatural aspects, right, are very sometimes they feel on the nose, sometimes they feel like they're not necessarily literal and more thematic, right?
More thematic sometimes, yeah.
One of the big ones that felt a lot more literal that I'm starting to think maybe it could still be literal, but it also might be thematic, is the whole idea of the, people not getting older, time within the school doesn't progress, things like that. If it's basically a place for Akio to predate on his victims, they can't get older until they get out, right? Like they can't
to really paint a nasty specific picture. Yeah.
Right, where it's the while they are in here, they're as prisoners basically, right? Like and so that on the one hand,
this is Akio's island that he
yes. But from the one hand, this does get me excited because that means that it's bringing up the exact ways in which Akio absolutely needs to be overthrown, right? And that can be a wonderful way in which Anthy and Utena together revolutionize this world.
Right.
And in a dark way, if Utena has also been aggressed by Akio, then she can't just be the prince for Anthy, right? Like, if you don't want it to just be a situation where Utena is Anthy's prince, right? Because while that has some merit to it, that's an incomplete picture, and we've spent the show going over that whole idea.
Also sets up Nanami perfectly to be the ally that she was always meant to be eventually.
Oh.
She realizes that she needs to save her brother from this.
Fucked up man, exactly, right? Yeah. And so that both gets me excited because now it's like I feel like I'm getting a better picture of how we're going to get to an awesome conclusion for the story.
The finale is being set up really well here.
And yet this is only episode 30, so it might be that it's the whole...
We have a whole other arc or two.
Right, where things could continue to get much worse before it finally gets to the point where everyone breaks free, revolutionizes the world, all that stuff.
Right. So I think it's time to talk Anthy then. Yeah. So Anthy is the most fascinating character in this story.
Yeah.
Every single episode that comes by, you can absolutely tell that the story is Utena's story for the purpose of the revolution. But the one that needs the revolution the most is Anthy. Right. And you see it in the way that things are not explored with Anthy.
Yeah.
Every time there's even a hint of the, well, wait, who do you love, Anthy? We just, like...
Yeah. And, I do love someone. I have a prince. She still can't say the words that, like, it's you, right? Like, because the saying, I have a prince, is one, wonderful in a sense, because it's the, she's speaking Utena's language, right?
True.
Language of princes and all that stuff. At the same time, it's the, it's you. You're like, if you think about people who would consider themselves to be a prince at this school, granted, Utena is
a baka.
As a baka, so she's not going to put it together.
No.
But then also from another angle, it's Anthy concealing it because it's her basically saying, I love somebody, and it still adheres to traditional gender norms.
I think that's part of it, but I think there's also a bit of that, maybe that frustration that's probably holding her back from actually communicating this with Utena.
I can imagine there's a whole lot of emotions there.
She's specifically frustrated at Utena, though.
At Utena. Gotcha.
At Utena a little bit.
Okay.
Utena is a pretty easy person to get frustrated at.
Yes. There was a part of me that when all of this stuff was happening in the episode, I wasn't... Anthy was pissed because of what was happening, right?
Yes, clearly.
But
we had shining glasses.
Many
times.
Yeah, it was like
went full chink, like she's practically like wishing death upon Akio.
It was,
or at the very least,
it was fully justified yandere mode, but without the knife.
If Anthy was a psychic, we would hear screaming in
if looks
just
could
our
kill,
minds.
like that's what if you look up that phrase, you get that picture of Anthy with the glasses, reflecting light and all that stuff. But there's the obvious pissed at Akio, right? Because how dare you come near my friend and do all of this stuff, and the way the dynamic that we had, as fucked up as it was, at least I
kept it to me.
At least I kept it to me, right? So how dare you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the angle of pissed at Utena for not for
just having eyes.
Exactly.
What's going on here?
Yeah. And then there's the other angle that's probably the most fucked up angle of angry at Utena because if there was any amount of Anthi that was blaming Utena in that moment. I don't think she would be. But at the same time,
I have a very good reason as to why she would in some small way.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to do with a jealous, like any kind of fucked up in the head possessed kind of thing there with like
with Akio because
possessive,
right,
anything like that. It's just the idea that Utena's free and she's doing this.
Oh, sure.
She went on the car ride. She did all this stuff.
That's
there.
A great fucking point.
It's the kind of thing where if Utena is her prince, what is her prince failing in this way?
Right. She can't even save herself. Yeah.
Right. Obviously, Akio is in a total position of power here.
Right, but
but
Utena is in a higher position of power than Anthi is in those situations, because if Utena were to be like, were to
fucking duel me, bitch.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
It would be not quite as straightforward for Akio than it would be for if it was Anthi, right? Like,
yeah.
So
and the scary thing is, I don't know who Anthi would support if they dueled each other. I really don't know.
No,
it depends. It really depends. It depends.
I mean, okay.
We don't know what Akio's like full way he's weaved his claws into not just Anthi but this world and what it all means. It's a very scary thing where you can almost feel like we're dancing around the final boss because we literally would lose if we fought him right now.
Sure. I mean, in a lot of ways, that would be kind of if all of this buildup is specifically so that Utena duels Akio. That would be kind of amazing. I can't believe that I didn't think about that as a possibility up until now.
Wait, not at all?
No, not at all.
Wait, why, how do you think that...
I was too enraptured by the picture of Anthi and Utena on the stallions with lances, flying through the sky.
But I think that, yes, that happens when they go to raid the castle.
Yeah.
Break that fucked up Disney-ass, upside-down, inverted, like...
Take that telescope and shove it up his ass. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Telescope their lances,
Right.
But no.
This show has a very good way that it can get into very, very uncomfortable material.
Yeah, and also, what the hell was with the music? That part where they were doing like and I was just like, what is this music? While
intentional dissonance, right? Like, because from the way that Akio makes this all work is that he makes everybody believe that it's something that they wanted, and as such, nothing bad's happening, right? Mm-hmm. Most direct with the mother, right?
Right.
Because it's how are things going with your husband, right? I'm going to remind you that your marriage is shit, right? Mm-hmm. So, you should be just fine doing this with me.
And also with me being with your daughter.
Yeah.
Because I'm way better than the chairman, right? Don't you want her to have a better shot than you have? There's the self-loathing angle that he's basically using. This is one of the most fucked up things about Akio that I love the way he's written in this way.
You're right.
Is that he flips the negative feelings that people have in general towards themselves. Basically,
which
he flips it back onto themselves, which is
feels classic abuser stuff.
But it's so intentional that it's like he literally gets off on it.
And with the mother, he can be the most overt because she understands the situation.
She understands the power dynamic, but she's also in some ways she's kind of in bed with him. Pun intended.
Yeah, right. Whereas with say like Wakaba or Utena, if they ever,
it would kind of shock them.
The mother knows that he's vile, but she does it anyway. Right. They don't know that he's vile. Right. When Utena starts to get that slight sense of it, almost seems like you're dangerous. Yes, danger, Will Robinson, but she's thinking of it from the dangerous, right? Although, actually, for Utena, she might have actually been meaning seriously.
Maybe. It's the main thing where we don't know exactly why she feels so. It's complicated.
Yeah.
She clearly has the immediate feelings that is transferred in the dialogue. It is told to us in the dialogue, in that she's like, no, it's not true. It's my prince. I still love my prince, basically.
Right.
And that she feels like she's betraying her true love, the one that gave her this identity, the one that she's kind of aligned her life and existence and identity around.
Yep.
And that's why this episode also focused on the way in which she feels that slight persecution from her environment for portraying herself in this way with with her outfit and stuff. And
do
then
you think
Akio
maybe
comes around and reinforces that to get on her good side,
right.
basically.
Yeah, all the stuff where it's like wonderful things to say. It's just coming from the absolute worst person. Yeah.
So you can't trust the motives.
So you can't exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, you can know that the motives are all kinds of fucked.
Oh, we absolutely can know. Yeah.
But one of the things that you saying that stuff made me think of at the beginning of the episode. There's this whole thing of the person talking about the first kiss and all that stuff, and then Utena's wondering like, well, was the prince my first kiss? Which is hilariously Utena. Thing to say, right? You know, kiss on the forehead. Was that my first kiss? But also like, oh yeah, like when you're young, you're like, well, does that technically count? I don't know, you know, right?
My mommy and daddy kissed me goodnight. You know?
Yeah. It's the Kaguya thing, right? Yeah. But there's a part of me that wonders if that scene was supposed to be actually like out of context after the whole thing in the car, and she's wondering if she betrayed Akio because she'd already had her first kiss.
You could look at it that way, but the episode intentionally bookended it just to try and show that she's kind of come back around to the same emotional state.
Yes, regardless of when that actually took place.
Right. It's a way to inform us about the scene that comes later by having this just
and what the episode's about and all that stuff. And it's
a primer, but this episode is probably the second most uncomfortable I've been in,
because the other one is when it was explicitly stated what was going on between Akio and Anthy. And now I'm just very like on the edge of my seat, but also like, oh god, for any episodes that come after this, because it's this kind of changes things a bit. And I don't want a Nanami episode after this. Please God, no.
What do you mean? Nanami's
unless it's a serious Nanami episode.
Nanami's just going to challenge Akio to a duel. I only could ever love my brother.
Right. That actually could be amazing.
Unironically amazing? Wincest is what stops.
And then also if you think about it, so there was that whole point where Nanami was dealing with the egg, right? And then Toga said the whole thing of like, well, God created man and woman to only be with each other and all that stuff. Which, if you think about it, that feels like the most like repressed doesn't know what to do with the fact of what's happening with Akio, and so then says this to Nanami, right?
Oh, his own internalized homophobia, basically.
Right.
Sure.
And then, I don't know. I love the idea of Nanami finds out and then it's like, I'm going to go to bat for my brother.
I think that's a bit of a looser take. I think that episode was way more focused on Nanami and her own kind of becoming a woman and feeling her body change and going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
But But this episode, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out my Persona 5 Royal Let's Play on Twitch. It's somehow still going. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.